My name's Tony Chytka, TR Chytka Bronze, and these pieces are pretty much just contemporary Western rodeo theme, kind of what I was associated with through life, majored in art. Most of the foundries I had to pick up on my own, trial and error, school of hard knocks. I've been doing my own casting since 1984, and most of the pieces I do depict the people and places and things I've done over a lifetime, just kind of recording my lifetime, I guess you might say. Most of them they're done from the lost wax process, where I make a clay model, make a rubber mold from the clay model, get a wax duplicate. The wax duplicate is set up on a sprue system made of wax, and there's a ceramic shell that goes over the wax pattern. The wax is then burned out of the ceramic shell. Your molten metal is poured into the mold at about 2200 degrees Fahrenheit. The mold is broken away and the piece is sandblasted, welded together, and then finished at different color variations, which is called a patina. I reside in Belfast, South Dakota. Here at the show, been here since the show started, 77, 78, I believe, right in there. Started out doing the Wrangler bullfights and just kind of took off from there. Well, most of my pieces, like I say, are from the rodeo theme. I started out doing the Wrangler bullfight sculptures, which originated here at the Black Hill Stock Show. That was about in the early 70s. That lasted about 20-year run, and now I do awards for the Coors Man in a Can, which is the Barrel Man of the Year. I work with Wrangler still, which is the Rodeo Announcer of the Year, Clem McSpadden Award. I've also worked with PRCA is doing 2 Remuda Awards, and then the Anita Barnes Living Legacy Award, which is presented at the National Finals Rodeo every year. Most of those are, like I say, just rodeo oriented. I also have a booth there at the finals at the South Point, and my pieces are on display during the week of the National Finals Rodeo, which lasts about a 10-day run. Most of my pieces are commission work. I completed some half-life-size pieces, 3 half-life-size pieces for the Casey Tibbs Rodeo Center up in Fort Pierre, South Dakota. They sit outside the hall there. Then they depict Clint Johnson, world champion, Billy Etbauer, world champion, and also Casey Tibbs, who is a world champion, and the hall is named after. I've got several pieces down at the ProRodeo Hall of Fame. Pieces are there at the garden area outside, and then there are also some smaller renditions of different cowboys on the inside of the museum. I also did a roundabout at Lehi, Utah, which was the logo for their rodeo, which started in the 30s. And one of the founders of the town, a descendant, asked me to do a 3/4 life size of that logo, which sits just about 2 blocks down from the rodeo arena in that town. I've got several pieces around the hills here. Belfouche on Main Street, Spearfish downtown along the Spearfish Creek, Deadwood, Days of 76, and the museum there in Deadwood. And most of them are in Tipperary, up in Hardin County, up at Buffalo there in the park. We did a 3/4 life size of Tipperary, which is a famous bucking horse back in the early 1900s. But most of my pieces are just the rodeo life and the people and my surroundings. Growing up in South Dakota and raised here, and kind of knowing the sport probably pretty much from the ground up, you might say. Haven't been a contestant, and later on just doing the work about it. This is a piece that originated with the WPRA, which is the Women's Rodeo Association. It was the Pioneer Award, and it's given to the lady in the WPRA, which they feel has been an outstanding as one of their membership people. It's patterned after a gal by the name of Betty Gale Cooper, and she is the sister of Roy Cooper, probably a little more known, but she won more world championships than he did. And I met Betty Gale when we were in college. She was going to school at Huntsville, and I was going to school at Spearfish, and we're at the College National Finals in Bozeman is where I'd first met her. So this came about later on after I've known her a number of years. The current president at that time got a hold of me and commissioned me to do this piece, and it was a clay model from one of her Betty Gale's competition runs. And when she found out that they were going to do this and use her as the pattern for the model for the award, she was hoping, she said, that I was going to be able to do it. I would be the one to do it. When I was working on the clay piece, I took it down to Guthrie, Oklahoma during the time event finals, and Betty Gale was there, and she had actually signed the clay model, so her signature is in the clay model. And then it was a couple years after that she passed on with cancer, and so she was able to see the clay model and got to sign it. That's about how the award originated.